How's it going, everyone? I hope you all are doing great, and I hope you all had a relaxing weekend. I am Dork Radu, and I am back with another daily analysis, starting off with the Forex analysis. And to be more exact, we are going to start with odd JPY. So, on odd JPY, I see a very nice possible sell limit opportunity. Why? Because we created a nice bearish range right here, okay? We can see that price swept liquidity up here, and immediately after it broke structure to the downside pretty aggressively. Okay, after that we always want to look for a imbalance or a unmitigated order block, and we can see that we have this nice fair value gap lining up with our area of interest. And then if we enable the TradeOrc SMC indicator, we can see that the graph tells us that on most time frames we are bearish, which is a great confluence for us. Okay, and lastly, all we want to see now is a corrective pullback towards our area of interest in order for us to pull the trigger. And so far, we do have a nice corrective pullback, and therefore this setup is a valid one to take. Next up, we have Euro USD. So on Euro USD, we have a valid buy limit opportunity. Okay, we have this nice bullish range that we can see here. Okay, looking very nice. Again, nice liquidity sweep here, followed by a impulsive break of structure to the upside. We can see the bullish momentum kicked in the markets here and pushed the price higher. If we look here, we left some nice imbalance behind, a nice fair value gap. Okay, that's lining up with our area of interest. And then if we enable the TradeOrc indicator, boom, check this out. 4 hour is bullish on the chart, which is a good confluence for us. And then we also have the TradeOrc order block lining up perfectly with our area of interest. And now, as always, we want to see a corrective pullback in order for us to pull the trigger. Okay, so that's that for this pair. We can now move on to the next one. And we do have a lot of pairs to discuss about today. I'm not going to lie. We have a lot of pairs on radar. Next up, we have odd CAD. Okay, so on odd CAD, we have a very nice bearish range that's been created. Okay, we can see price broke structure pretty impulsively right here. All right, also left a nice fair value gap behind that is lining up pretty nicely with our premium area. Okay, and now we want to see a corrective pullback. So far we do have a pretty nice corrective pullback, and if we enable the TradeOrc indicator, boom, check out the graph. The graph is very good looking on this pair. Why is it good looking? Because we have the 4 hour and the daily red, bearish, okay, which is a great confluence for us, because on the graph we mostly care about these two, the 4 hour and the daily. All right, and yeah, that's a great confluence for us to consider taking this opportunity. Okay, so that's exactly why we are considering taking this sell limit opportunity on odd CAD. Next up, we have USD CAD. On this one, we have a nice buy limit opportunity. Check this out. Check this bullish momentum that pushed price higher and broke structure here. Broke these two equal highs here pretty aggressively, and it also left some nice fair value gaps behind. Okay, we have a nice fair value gap here lining up perfectly with our area of interest. Okay, next up, we enable the TradeOrc indicator. Boom, check out the graph. Okay, we have the daily and the 4 hour bullish. It's exactly what we want to see. All right, and lastly, we want to see a corrective pullback, and so far we do have a nice corrective pullback towards our fire zone. Okay, so as soon as price gets close, we would be ready to pull the trigger and place the buy limit. Okay, next up we have odd USD. All right, on this one we have a sell limit opportunity. Once again, textbook liquidity sweep followed by a aggressive break of structure to the downside. All right, then we can see a very nice fair value gap has been left behind that is lining up perfectly with our area of interest. We also created a inducement here with this high. All right, and so far this setup is looking very nice. Okay, we do have a corrective pullback so far, and if we enable the TradeOrc indicator, check this out, exactly what we want to see. Look at the graph. All the time frames are bearish. Okay, so that's the perfect confluence for us to consider taking this setup. All right, next up we have Euro AUD. On this one, we have a pretty nice buy limit opportunity. Price broke structure to the upside pretty impulsively, as we can see. We had a nice liquidity sweep as well here, followed by a aggressive break of structure to the upside. Okay, and then we can see that we have this wonderful unmitigated order block lining up perfectly with our area of interest. Okay, now we want to see a pullback towards our area of interest, a corrective one, in order for us to pull the trigger. And if we enable the trader indicator, we have the perfect confluence with it on this setup. Why? Daily and 4-hour on the graph are bullish, and then we have the trader order block lining up perfectly with our area of interest. Okay, so we do have the perfect confluence with the indicator on this pair. Okay, so it's looking really, really wonderful. Next up, we have Euro NZD. Okay, so on Euro NZD, again, a nice buy limit opportunity. Price is very bullish, as we can see, some big bullish momentum, okay, in the market. We also had a pretty brief, I would say, liquidity sweep here. Then price broke structure very aggressively to the upside, broke these highs here as well. It also left a nice fair value gap behind that is lining up with our area of interest. Okay, and if we enable the trader indicator, boom, daily and 4-hour bullish on the graph. That's what we want to see. Okay, now all there's left is for us to get a nice corrective pullback in order for us to pull the trigger and take this setup. Next up, we have Eurgbp. So on this one, again, another buy limit opportunity. Euro pairs have been pretty bullish, safe to say. Wonderful liquidity sweep here, okay, followed by an impulsive move to the upside. We broke several highs. We broke this high here, this swing high here as well, okay. So great confluences. And if we enable the trader indicator, check this out, looking wonderful once again. We have some great confluences with it this start of the week, I'm not gonna lie, with the trader indicator. Daily and 4-hour looking bullish on the graph. And then we also have the trader order block lining up perfectly with our area of interest. Okay, so now again, we want to see a continuation of this corrective pullback towards our area of interest in order for us to pull the trigger. That's simple. Okay, we are keeping it super simple and straightforward. Next up, NZD USD with a nice sell limit opportunity. Okay, we can see price has been trending to the downside since beginning of October, I would say. And here we have a very nice liquidity sweep followed by a impulsive break of structure to the downside. Price broke several lows here, broke this low, and even this swing low right here with this push. Okay, so that is a great confluence. Then if we look closely, I actually forgot to draw the fair value gap that is lining up perfectly with the area of interest. Okay, so that's our next confluence. And we also have inducement, I would say. We also have inducement above this high here, which again is another good added confluence. And if we enable the trader indicator, boom, great confluence once again. The graph is looking red, which is great for us. And then we also have the trader order block lining up with our area of interest. Okay, so now, as always, we want to see a corrective pullback towards our fire zone in order to pull the trigger. Okay, next up, GBP AUD. Okay, so on this one, we have a nice buy limit opportunity. Again, the price is trying to break out of our bullish range, but we can quickly adjust the fib levels. So on this one, what did I see? Okay, so if we look closely on the 4-hour, we are kind of switching trends. Starting here, we are starting to break these lower highs, heading higher, higher low, higher high, higher low, and now I do think we might go for a new higher high. All right, so knowing that, I saw that we had a nice liquidity sweep here, followed by a fairly aggressive break of structure to the upside. Price then retraced a bit and then moved even higher. Okay, I do think we created some inducement here. We also have a very nice fair value gap lining up with our area of interest. And if we enable the trader indicator, boom, the graph is looking green, which is a great confluence for us to consider taking this setup. Now, as always, we want to see a corrective pullback in order to decide whether we will pull the trigger or not. Next up, EuroJPY with a nice buy limit opportunity. Okay, check this out. Price has been in a range for the past weeks, but it looks like it started to break out of it. Okay, and with this move, we can see that we broke several highs with this move here. Okay, so that's why this setup is really tempting to take. Again, also had a bit of a liquidity sweep followed by a impulsive move to the upside that broke structure. And we also have this very nice fair value gap lining up perfectly with our area of interest. Okay, and if we enable the trade org indicator, boom, check this out, 4 hour bullish trade org order block lining up perfectly with our area of interest. So now again, we want to see a continuation of this corrective pullback. Okay, that's what we want to see. Next up, Euro CHF with a sell limit opportunity. Okay, price is heading lower and lower, been trending downwards for quite some time now. We can see we have a liquidity sweep here followed by a aggressive break of structure to the downside. Again, nice unmitigated order block left behind that is lining up with our area of interest. And the trade org indicator is looking wonderful. Okay, daily 4 hour bearish trade org order block lining up perfectly with our area of interest. Okay, so now again, all there's left to see is a corrective pullback towards our fire zone. And lastly, for our Forex analysis, we are going to discuss about this sell limit opportunity on CAD JPY. Okay, so this one is looking very textbook. Okay, liquidity sweep above this high followed by a fairly impulsive break of structure to the downside, corrective pullback, fair value gap left behind, looking very nice. Trade org order block not giving us that many confluences on this trade, which is totally fine. And we also created some inducement with this high here. Okay, so this one is also looking very, very good for us to consider taking. And yeah, that being said, this pretty much ends today's Forex analysis. As always, if there's any questions, feel free to reach out on Discord. Now I will go over today's metals analysis, starting off with gold. So gold has been on a very nice bull run since start of October, as we can see, trending very aggressively to the upside, but I don't see any clear range that we could trade. Okay, I do see a lot of linear movement. I do see a lot of imbalance, but right here we broke this important level, okay, the 1950 level. Okay, we can also check the daily to see how the daily looks like. All right, we broke these highs here, and now we are trying to break above these highs up here. Okay, so let's see how that will go, but I do want to see a nice range. Right now I don't see a nice range. Okay, this is just a linear move, no pullback, no nothing, and I don't like how this range looks like. That's why I'm not trading it. Okay, so I do want to see either a nice range that forms to the upside and we can look for buys, or we could also see something like this heading lower, breaking this zone here once again, and then look for some sells. Okay, if we want to take price lower. But till then, I will just see how price develops, because right now I don't wanna force anything on gold. There's so many other pairs we trade, so if we don't see a clear setup, there's no point for us to force anything. Okay, next up we have silver, and to be fair, on silver we are at a pretty important level. Okay, at this 23.4 level that price is currently playing at. It looks like it's wanting to break higher. Okay, so if I see a nice bullish range and price breaks higher and breaks these highs here, then I might look for some buy opportunities. But till then, I will just leave the price to develop. Okay, because right now, again, same story as on gold, I don't see a nice range that we could possibly trade. Okay, it is that simple. And because of that, we are just going to leave it as is. And this is where we will end today's metals analysis. As always, if there's any questions, feel free to reach out on Discord. And now I will go over today's indices analysis, starting off with US30. So on US30, we can see that we rejected from this level beginning of October, but now price seems that it is retesting it once again. And we all know that if a level gets retested multiple times, it means that its strength is weaker, is lower and lower. So I do think that in the near future, price will break through this zone here. So knowing that, we would be tempted to look for some sell opportunities. Right now, I don't see a nice sell limit, a nice bearish range that we could trade. And because of that, I'm just gonna leave the price to develop some more on US30. Okay, that's what I have in mind for this pair. Next up, we have SPX 500, and on this one, once again, pretty much same story as on US30. Price rejected from this daily demand level, and now it looks like it wants to retest it once again. Okay, so when this happens, it's a clear sign for me that price might want to head lower. Okay, so knowing that, I would be tempted to look for some bearish ranges, but right now, once again, same story as on US30. I don't really see a clear bearish range that we could trade. So once again, I'm just gonna leave price to develop till we will see something nice. Okay, and next up, NAS100. On NAS100, we do have a sell limit opportunity. Okay, we do have a sell opportunity, a bearish range on NAS100. Again, we retested this level here multiple times, and I do think price is ready to head lower. Okay, we had a very nice rejection on this supply level. Price rejected from it, and now it is currently heading lower and lower. And therefore, I do think that this bearish trend will continue. And that's why I took this bearish range here, okay? From this high to this low, we broke structure. We left imbalance behind. We have this nice fair value gap lining up with our area of interest. And if we enable the trade arc indicator, having some very great confluence with it. The graph is looking red, which is great. And now, as always, we want to see a corrective pullback towards our fire zone in order for us to pull the trigger. And yeah, that being said, this pretty much ends today's indices analysis. As always, if there's any questions, feel free to reach out on Discord. And lastly, we are going to go over today's crypto analysis, starting off with Bitcoin. Okay, so Bitcoin is currently breaking above a very important level. Okay, so I'm very interested to see if this daily candle will close above 30K, because if it does, then that's going to be a very bullish sign. I'm not going to lie, that's going to be a pretty bullish sign, and that means that we could see price heading towards the next level, which could possibly be either 35K. I don't think these highs will hold, or even 40K. Okay, but of course that's long term. That's not going to happen in couple days or couple weeks. All right, but on the 4-hour, I do see a very impulsive move to the upside, but I don't really see a very clear range to trade. I mean, yes, we could consider this range here, but if we look lower, we have a lot of imbalance. Okay, so because of that, I just want to see price developing some more. Maybe we get a nice retest, and then from here we break higher, and then we could look for some buys here to take price higher. That could be ideal, but till then we will just leave the price to develop and not force anything. Okay, that's what we will do on Bitcoin. Ethereum, though, has a very nice buy limit opportunity for us. Okay, so Ethereum again broke several highs, and we also have this nice bullish range that has been formed here. Okay, we have this nice bullish range that has been formed here. We also have some sort of inducement, okay, with this low here. We also left this nice fair value gap behind, okay. That's lining up perfectly with our area of interest. And the trade arc auto block, boom, 4-hour bullish. And we have the trade arc auto block lining up perfectly with our area of interest. Okay, so we do have some nice confluences with the trade arc indicator as well. And yeah, now lastly, we want to see a corrective pullback in order for us to pull the trigger on this Ethereum buy limit opportunity. Okay, so yeah, we do have a valid setup on Ethereum. Next up, Dogecoin, looking very bullish, but similar to Bitcoin, we do have a lot of imbalance here, so I wouldn't be keen to look to take a buy limit opportunity here. Okay, on this range, we have this supply level here, this 4-hour supply level that's currently being tested. So I'm pretty curious to see if price will react to it or if it will break higher. Okay, so yeah, we are safe to say that we are at a key level on Dogecoin. So we are going to see how price will react to it. So yeah, once again, on this specific coin, we are just going to wait for price to develop some more and not do anything else on it. Okay, next up we have XRP. Okay, so on XRP, once again, very bullish, created a huge bullish range here, and seems that price wants to climb up higher. That's exactly why I didn't take this bullish range, because yes, it would have been a valid one, but the reason I didn't took it is because I see price wanting to climb even higher. Okay, and because of that, I'm just gonna wait to see how price will develop. All right, that's exactly what I am going to do on XRP. And lastly, we have Solana. Again, pretty much the same story, very aggressive, creating bullish ranges after bullish ranges, breaking higher and higher. And if we look on the daily, we are currently breaking out of a pretty important zone right here on the daily. Okay, so if we break out of that zone, the next one could be this 38 to 30 to 40, yeah, 36 to $38 zone that we could head to in the future. Okay, so I'm definitely looking to long Solana, but right now I'm just waiting for price to develop some new structure, because this is just too impulsive. Okay, and yes, I could take this range, but check what's lower. Lower we have some more imbalance, and because of that, I'm not willing to risk it. Like I said, there's always plenty other opportunities, so why force something that we are not sure about in terms of confluences? Because of course, even if we are sure about in terms of confluences, that doesn't mean that it cannot be a loser. We can still lose, but lining up confluences and going for the setups that make the most sense will give us the best win rate. So that's why I always preach quality over quantity. Okay, so yeah, that being said, this pretty much ends today's crypto analysis. As always, if there's any questions, feel free to reach out on Discord, and I will see you all on the dork side. Take care.